3, 2, starting in 1. Have you ever wondered how to play trills? Mainly this thing right here. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you not only how trills work, but how to play them on the piano. We're going to go over a couple other symbols too, such as the mordent, this thing, and the turn. Again, I'm going to introduce you to what they are and how to play them properly. It's your piano teacher, Tim, here. Let's get right on into it. And this is a live lesson, so I'm going to be taking questions every now and again. So if you have a question about what we're talking about, let me know in the live chat, and we'll every 5 minutes check in with what you guys have to say. So how is everybody doing today? Let's say that first, and then let's get back to what a trill is. So let me bring up one thing real quick. I got it right here. Here we go. That is not the one I meant to do. There you go. That's the one. Trills, turns, and mordents. So a trill is when you alternate between two adjacent notes rapidly, and you use the pedal at the same time. And let me show you what that's going to be like here. So give me a second here. So here we go. So say we have this note right here, right? What note is that? It's the third space of the treble clef. And hopefully you said C. Now, normally the way I was taught, I know there's a couple of ways to do it, is that you start from the scale note above that C, so the note adjacent or next to, right? And you hit what we call the principal note, which is the note that's written. And you hold down the pedal and see if you can start with that and then double time it. And then triple time it. So each time you're starting out slow and then speed it up and then as fast as you can. Now, the way I was taught is to use the first finger, which is your thumb, and the middle finger, which is the third finger, and you alternate between those, and you have like a little wrist action going on with it. Sometimes they will start with the principal note and go under, but the way I was taught, it's still the same two notes, but they start with the principal note and do it that way. But I was always taught you start from the top one and you alternate, like I said, a little bit of wrist action. It is going to take you a long time to get this right. At first, your trills will probably sound like this. And of course, we have a little bit more that I want to teach you. So again, anytime you have any questions about what we're talking about, let me know in the chat. And then every few minutes we'll be taking questions. Or even if you just want to say hello. Okay, so trills part 2. Are you ready? So when playing a trill, you want to alternate between the principal note written and the note a step above or a half step above. Now, you got to be careful. Now, if we're in the key of C, you really don't have to worry at all. You know, it's just the next, a whole step above, or the next scale note. So if you know your C major scale, here's the first note of the scale, second note of the scale, and you alternate between those. Now, sometimes, if it's in a key that has a sharp in it, such as the key of G, right? And say we had a trill over this E here. Well, you would actually alternate between the F sharp and the E because there's an F sharp in the key signature. So you just got to be careful paying attention to whatever key that you're in for the piece. But luckily, we're going to be talking about mostly in the key of C today. All right, is there anybody here? Let me know in the chat. We don't have any chats yet, but we'll continue nonetheless. Okay, depending on the key signature. Okay, so I did go over that. So I'm going to make sure that I got everything for you guys. Here we go. Trills, part 3, and then we'll take some questions about trills. So trills often include this squiggly line, as you can see here. It says TR, and then that's squiggles. That tells you basically, or it's reminding you how long you are playing this trill for. So this particular trill, oops, that's the one. So we have G as our principal note, right? So that's the note, one of the notes we're playing. And we're playing the next note up above G, assuming we're in the key of C, so we don't have any sharps or flats. And you alternate between those. And how long are we going to be trilling for is the next question. Well, if you don't have the squiggles there, it's automatically assumed that you are trilling for the duration of the principal note. So the principal note is the note that's written. Remember that. So this one is worth 4 beats. This one's worth 4 beats, and they are tied. So therefore, we're going to be trilling for a total of 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But a lot of times trills only last for a beat or two. Like the one we had to start with was this one. And what is the principal note? It's C, but what kind of note is it? It is a half note. So you're going to go 1, 2, and then boom, you're on to whatever thing comes next. Now, let me know if you have any questions so far, but I do want to move on because I do want to show you a real sheet music example that has a trill in it, which is kind of like what I opened with. So let's get the piano with the laptop in here. We'll circle the trill anyway. Okay, so we have this measure here. Let me get it in focus, right? And we have a trill, it says TR, in the treble clef, and it's the top line of the treble clef. So remember, E, G, B, D. F is our principal note. We're in the key of C, right? So here's our C major scale. And you are going to be alternating between the scale note above that F there. But how long are you going to be trilling for? You're going to be trilling for the value of the principal note, which is only a half a beat, but an eighth note, right? So in the time that, this is what it would be normally without the trill. Let me do that first. Let me try again. One more time. So normally the second note is the trilled note, right? And in the time I normally play that note, I have to complete the trill. So it's going to be like this. So it's a real short one. So the trill, remember, has to go on as long as the principal note that you have. All right, guys. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Oh, we are here. All right, guys. So, are there any, whoa, hold on, guys. I hit something weird. So are there any questions so far? I would love to know in the comments. The questions always help me out to know like what you guys are struggling with. If not, I'm going to assume that you're excellent on trills, that everybody's trill game is really, really good. But we don't, so far, have anybody chatting, which is a little bit odd to me. Say something. I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to continue then, if that's the case. It's not a problem. All right, guys, just give me 1 second, because we're going to move on to, I think Mordents is next. It is. Are you ready? Get set. We are gonna go. Here it is. Good morning, Jason. Thank you for coming. Okay, now a mordent is when you play the principal note. You play the note above the principal note. Remember, the principal note is the note that's written. So you're playing the principal note, the note above that principal note, and back to the principal note. And it's going to look like this. So again, and it looks just like a squiggle. It's kind of like the trill, but it doesn't say TR next to it. That's very, very important if you're confused as to like which one you should do. It's actually a lot easier than a trill. All you got to do is hit the principal note, the note above it, and back to that note. And you have to do it on the beat that's written. So if this C comes in on beat 1, you got to do 1, right on beat 1, 1. So try that out, 1. And it's almost like you hit the wrong note for a second and you're coming back to the right one. Just like that. Now you got to be careful again, because if you're in a key signature that has a sharp, so say we're in the key of G real quick, and you have a mordent over E, right? It's actually going to be played E, F sharp E, like that. So you just got to be careful. Whatever notes are in the key signature, they also apply to whatever notes that you're playing. So here we have the mordent that's written, and this is how it's actually played. Let me show you, before we play an inverted mordent, I actually want to show you a real sheet music example, because I always like to do that. So just give me a second. It's right here. I came prepared today, believe it or not. Okay, you know what? I'm going to explain inverted mordents first, because that's what we have here. I thought these were mordents for a second. But anyway, let me explain inverted mordents for a second. So this time you're playing the note that's written, the note below it, and then back to that. So here we have what it is, you know, and then basically written out what you're doing to help you out with it. This time it's a squiggle though, with a line through the center of it, as you can see. So just be careful that there's very small, minute details between trills, mordents, inverted mordents. Remember that trills say TR and then usually a squiggle, but sometimes not. Sometimes it just says TR. A mordent is a squiggle, looks like a sideways lightning bolt maybe, and then the inverted mordent looks like this with a little dash through the center of it. All right, any questions on those so far? If not, I'm gonna play some inverted mordents for you guys and we'll see how it goes. So let me get this back in order. I'm starting to actually be decent with the switcher. Okay, now this is a song a lot of us have played, right? I'm just going to play the first line without any mordents or anything, just to give you a vibe check of what this is going to sound like. But if you noticed, in this measure, the second measure, right here, and the third measure, sorry, and then the fifth measure, I can't count today, that we have this inverted mordent thing going on. Let me delete these because I can't see otherwise. Okay, so now we have inverted mordents in that third measure and the fifth measure. Let's tackle the one in the third measure first. Okay, now normally this is played, and I'm going to count along with it. We're in 3/4. This is normally counted 1 and 2 and 3 and this inverted mordent has to be completed when you say 1 and 2. So in the time you say 2, you have to play all 3 of those notes. And you see how there's a 3, 2, 1 above it? That is the fingering they want you to use. They want you to use 3, 2, and then when you come back to that note, you play with finger 1. Now the question is, why do they make us do that? Why don't they just do? It's because we have more notes going up on the keyboard. So if we do the fingering they gave us, 5, 3, 2, 1, it gives us enough fingers to finish out the rest of the notes. So always be paying attention to the fingering as well. So how to count this is 1 and 2 and 3 and. And it's a little tricky at first because you have to be ready to play 1 and 2 and then move right off of it to play the rest of the notes. A lot of students, they do this. And that's not correct because it's not in time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and when I was first learning this, one thing that really helped me is to just count out the first 2 beats, right? 1 and 2, and play the Mordent. 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and then each time add a note to it. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So that's how I tackle some difficult things like that. Is I will just play basically like up to whatever symbol I'm struggling with. In this case, the inverted mordent. Just to get that part of it. Because if you try to do the whole thing all at once, sometimes it can make it a lot more confusing. Hey, we got Chilling with Ray. Welcome everybody. Okay, any questions so far on the inverted mordent, the trill, any of the stuff that we have going on? Otherwise, I'm going to assume you guys are experts at all of this stuff because we still have the turn to talk about. I thought we'd get more questions today, but that's okay. You know, we roll with the I was going to say punches, but they're not even really punches. Let's so any questions so far? Doesn't look like it. So we will continue, guys. And then I have some announcements later on in the video. So stick around for that. Okay. A turn. A turn indicates you should play the note above the principal note first. Okay. And then you're playing the principal note. Then you're playing the note below the principal note. And then back to the principal note. So if you see here in our first example, we're not looking at the inverted yet, just the regular one, we have F, right? That's the note that's written, assuming we're in treble clef, right? So F, and just like I said, this is what's written, and this is how you play it. So again, you start from the note above F, G, you go to F, E, F, and it kind of does like a turnaround, and I think that's why it's called a turn. Like that. Again, you have to play it in the time that the principal note is for. So if this is a quarter note, you play all this on 1, right? Just like that, 1. And it's usually, well, I guess it could be over a half note, right? 1, 2. And that would be a slower turn on something with a half note. An inverted turn, I don't see too many of these. These are the bane of my existence because I don't think I have dyslexia, but sometimes if things are too similar, I do. So maybe I have a little bit of dyslexia. I don't know. I don't want to go around telling people I have dyslexia, but because I really don't know for sure. But as you can see, the difference between a turn and the inverted turn is they're just swapped, right? So I guess to know it's a turn, it goes up and down first. And then if it's inverted turn, it goes down and then. Oh man, the difference between these two things always confuses me so much. They look so similar, but do whatever you can to remember what it is. I guess with the turn, the hook on the left goes down and the hook on the right goes up. Whereas an inverted turn, the hook on the left goes up and the hook on the right side goes down. So I apologize if I'm confusing anybody, but the difference between these two is this. So with the regular turn, you go note above the note, down, and then back to the principal note. Inverted turn is the opposite. You start below the principal note, which is F. You go to F, G, F. And it's almost like you're turning around back this way. Right? And that's why it's called a turn. If you wanted to, like, say, turn around and go up this way, you'd use the regular turn. Like that. Okay, I do have an example of a turn, but I do not have it up right now. So give me a second, guys. And because I do think it's a very good, I always like to show you in the sheet music. I think that helps a lot. Let's see what has a good turn in it. PDF. By the way, if you're ever looking for sheet music, a good thing is to like know what piece you're looking for. Search it into Google and then just type PDF or piano PDF or something like that. And most times you can find a free one. Some more like modern pieces you're gonna have to pay, but that's what I'm doing right now. If you're wondering, like, what the heck is going on with this guy? Just give me a second. Here we go. Now let me bring this up. That is not what I meant to do. Here we go. Okay, so this is Pathetique Sonata Movement 2. And this is what on the bottom? No, it's right here. It's in this measure right there. Do you see it? Where's the turn? It's where these numbers are. Oh, I don't have the circle, but it's right at the end of the measure here in the right hand. See how it says 3 2 1 2? That is where our turn happens. Now let me get my bench in order. That's a tip for you, by the way. If you're going to play on the piano, you must adjust your bench every time. You'll be... Oh, what key are we in real quick? Oh, okay, 4 flats. So we're in A flat major. See, that's why it's really helpful to know your key signatures as well. So that's how it's played with the turn. So we go, we're only paying attention to the treble clef notes. You got E flat, D, which you're holding over. Okay, I had to think about it for a second. So you have E flat, D. So what is our principal note when this turn comes in? It's actually D. I know it comes between the D and the F after that, but it is D. So you start from the note above. In this case, it's flat because of the key signature. So you're going to play E flat, D, C, D, right? So in the time that you normally hold the D, the principal note here, you have to play this. And in practice, it'll be like this. I remembered the notes that came next. So that's how you play a turn. It took me a while to get this one because there's more notes involved. The Mordents are usually pretty easy, right? It's only 3 notes, and it's pretty easy where you're going. The turns take some practice to getting used to. And I always like to line it up to clarify the rhythm. I always like to line up things, like especially if you have something in the left hand that's just like accompaniment, playing like, say, the 16th notes like we have here. Like that. I always think how many, because this is keeping the beat basically, how many of these are going to be played as I play the turn? And the answer is 2 of them, right? Because normally if I'm hitting this D, and there is no turn, I'm moving on the next 2. So you're doing, let me see, yeah. And it actually looks like I do a lot of it on that second one. Just like that. All right, any questions, guys? Let me know. All right, if not, we will move on. Okay, question break 3. Any questions about turns? What else did we learn today? Trills. Sorry, it's really hot in here with these lights. Trills, turns, trills, mordents or inverted mordents. Do you have questions about any of these? We'll take a few minutes just to see if you have anything. If not, there is a video I want you to watch. There's a couple of videos actually, so hold on. Let me get you guys a link here. Oh, let me do it at the main battle station. Let me bring up, so there you go, there's the chat. Actually, just kidding. So I have a whole video on turns that I made a while ago that probably has a few more examples in it. Here it is. And I want you guys to watch this video when we're done. just to make sure that you understand everything. So lesson on turns, here you go. That's a pretty long link. Please tell me that's the right one. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. All right. And then I have a couple more things I want to talk about, like on the piano. But first, I do want to say that I want to let you know on like the plan that I have for the channel coming up over the next few weeks. So the one thing I've been working on and trying to achieve as a goal on the channel is to have something new for you guys each and every week. So the goal right now is that every other week we're going to do a live stream. So we did a live stream today, and in 2 weeks we're going to do another one. You'll see the new live streams listed on the channel probably over the next few days. I need to take a couple of days to kind of like analyze what we've been doing and kind of adjust so that the next live streams can be even better. So every other week is a live stream. In the weeks we don't have live streams, like next week, there's going to be a recorded video. So I've been really working on the new videos coming out. Next week's video is how to read music as fast as possible. And you may be thinking like, well, you've done videos like that before. It's probably intervals, right? It's probably maybe pattern recognition. You know, I've seen that on the channel maybe. It's neither of those things. It's something fresh and new that I haven't really taught. Like maybe I've mentioned it before, but I've never talked about it in detail on the channel. And I don't see anybody else on YouTube talking about this special technique that I'm going to give you guys in this lesson next week. So I hope you enjoy. And then the week after, we're going to have a live stream. And then the week after that, there's going to be a new lesson. I actually have been recording lessons like crazy the last few weeks. So I hope you like the new ones coming out. They're going to be, the next few are going to be more in line with what you've seen on the channel. And then I have some new stuff that I'm working on in the horizon. So I just want to let you guys know what's coming up with everything. So, okay, I think that's good. Let me go back here really quick. Doesn't look like everybody is a master today. But that's okay. All right. Here, are you ready? And again, the last few minutes here, let us know any comments or questions you have. Okay, I want to go over the 5 reasons you should sign up for the courses over on my website, pianolessonsontheweb.com. So number 1, and I'll show you the website here in a second. It's great for beginners and those that have a foundation already. So if you just found out about me, you're going to really enjoy the courses if you're just getting started, or if you have like you've been learning for a while and you're looking to take things to the next level, it's great for that too. Number 2 is you can learn piano theory, rhythm, things like playing trills, and anything else you need to become a well-rounded musician. Number 3 is you can learn at your own pace because they are online courses. You can take them anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. I should be clear about that. Number 4 is these are better than YouTube. One question I always get is like, well, why wouldn't I just follow your YouTube since all those videos are free? And fair, but there is a big advantage with taking the courses because not only do you get instructional videos and some things we've never talked about on the channel, by the way, that are all organized together in a course, but you also get access to like printable notes, worksheets, assignments, and real sheet music to play around what you're learning, to make sure that you're not just like learning a topic and moving on like we do here on YouTube, but that you're learning it, practicing it, and mastering it as well, which is super important when learning piano. This stuff you really need to know like the back of your hand. So that's another big advantage. And the last one, since I'm looking at it right here, is it's a great way to help the channel, but also invest in your own music education as well. So when we're done here, you can go check out pianolessonsontheweb.com. Let's bring it up here. There we go. And yeah, just check it out. I mean, you can watch the intro video, but basically what my courses will offer you, it's a lot of the stuff I talked about here, but maybe a couple other points. You can check out any course. Say you're interested in a course, you go to the My Courses page or Music Courses page up the top, and you click on, say, playing the piano level 3. You want to see what's included in this this course. Well, you click on it, and it brings you to the course description page where you can learn or you can read all about it. So I think that's all I have to show you guys. Do you have any comments or questions before we go? This is great, somebody said. I'm glad somebody found it helpful today. If not, maybe I'll just talk about myself for a few minutes, because I didn't think we'd get through everything so quickly. I thought there'd be like, because playing turns and trills and all that stuff can be very, very tricky. I mean, knowing it in concept is very different than knowing it in practice. But let's thank the people that came out today. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Chillin' with Ray. Thank you, JM, and everybody else that came out today. Other than that, I've been doing well. I'm just going to talk about myself the last 2 minutes, and then we'll end early today. But again, just a reminder, we have another live stream happening in 2 weeks. The next live streams will be posted, so you know what the topics are, probably in the next 5 days or so. And I do want to tell you one more thing. Actually, no, that's fine. We'll leave that for next time. But anyway, I've been doing well, in case you're curious. I've just been trying to get on like a very good work schedule. Been trying to take care of myself. You know, a few years ago, I had some deaths in my family, unfortunately. And I think I was going through a rough time, but I'm feeling a lot better now. You know, I've been going to the gym somewhat recently, or regularly, I should say. Recently and regularly. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. That's all I have to really say, is I'm doing good, guys. Look forward to the videos coming out. I have some really good ones on the horizon. Just dropped in, says Tio. I've never heard of a Mordent. I guess I'll have to watch this vid from the beginning now. Yeah, you will. Exactly. And you might see it. There is a link here that I posted right above. I might want to put that in the description. I should have done that. But anyway, if you can't click on that for whatever reason, just look up on the channel how to play Trills and then type in piano lessons on the web, and my video will come up. It has a red thumbnail. I'll give you that. But yeah, those things are important. Like I said, playing them in practice is very different than just learning about them. So I hope you guys are okay about this. After this video is posted, if you have any questions about how to play these, let me know. And in the first day or two of this being posted, I'll answer all those questions. That's kind of how it'll be. All right. Well, thank you for coming by, everybody. Maybe I'll give it another minute for any questions, but let's do that. Trying to think if I have anything else coming up. I don't want to say too much about what I have coming up. I do have a lot of things in the works, but I would rather under promise and over deliver. I found that that's like the way better than over promising, under delivering. So keep saving. We'll catch you next time. About to head to work. Well, thank you, Jason. You have a good one too. All right, everybody. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here. You know who it is. I hope you had a great one, and I'll talk to you next time. Have a great week. Again, we have a new lesson coming out it's probably next Saturday it's coming out. So, and then one thing I do want to know from you guys, I'll make a community post about it. What I want to know is, would you rather have the live streams on Friday, today, or would you rather have them on Saturday or someday during the weekend? You can either let me know right here, but look out for like maybe a poll that I'll throw up on the channel, and let me know, because I'm willing to do either day. Both days are pretty good with me. And the one thing I was thinking is, like, if I'm putting out videos on the weekend, on Saturday, because that's the best day to release for my channel, I'm wondering if it would be better to just be consistent and have the live streams at that time too, so people know, like, okay, Saturday at whatever time is the time to look for new videos, rather than having like 2 or 3 different days we do things. So let me know when you get a chance, and I'll post up a poll pretty soon on the channel. But anyway, guys, thanks for coming by today. It's been your piano teacher, Tim, here, and I'll see ya next time.